As we welcome you to what feels like anything but the preseason finale between the San Diego Chargers and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Qualcomm alongside the Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. I'm Spiro Ditas. What a scene. Certainly doesn't feel like the preseason finale and the final tune-up before the regular season. Of course, the big story, Colin Kaepernick electing to sit during the anthem now for a second consecutive week. Dan, as expected, he heard boos as soon as he entered the field of play a couple of minutes ago.
Well, the big question that I have for the Kaepernick and the 49ers is, what does this do to the locker room? It obviously will split the locker room. No matter how you feel politically, it is a bad environment for a football team, especially heading into the regular season in just 8 days. So for the 49ers, a team that's in disarray to begin the season, now are even worse shape because of what has happened the last 2 weeks.
Now, there are few cities in America as patriotic as the city of San Diego, and this is the annual salute to the military that the Chargers hold here annually. All that as the backdrop as Colin Kaepernick and the San Francisco 49ers arrive in San Diego amidst a sea of controversy. We'll break, we'll hear from Heather Myers, and we'll have the starting lineups in the opening kick as we continue from San Diego. Qualcomm Stadium, San Diego, California, on a picturesque 68-degree night here in Southern California. Preseason finale for the Chargers as they welcome in Chip Kelly and the San Francisco 49ers. His stint in Philadelphia ending in disappointment. Fired towards the end of last season and now trying to resurrect this 49ers offense that ranked dead last in scoring last season in the NFL. And well, if you're Chip Kelly, you just want to talk football, focus on the team. But it's been a rough week in terms of the distractions, all the Colin Kaepernick talk. And finally, he's able to just kind of focus on the field as they get ready for kickoff.
And you talk about pressure on the quarterback. Not only is he fighting for a job, a lot of people don't think he'll even be on the roster come next Tuesday, but he's got to perform well tonight under really dire situation.
Josh Lambo on to boot it away, and Jeremy Curley signed earlier this week. He's going to run it out from just inside his own end zone. Crosses the 10, brought down at around a 15-yard line. So here comes Colin Kaepernick. Second straight week that he elects not to stand during the anthem, protesting what he has said is the mistreatment of African Americans and minorities around the country. Biracial, we know his story, adopted by white parents, and felt strong enough to take a stand politically, and he does it, Dan, at a time in his career where he really is at a crossroads. And this is a big night for Kaepernick as he tries to fight his way back from all the offseason talk with the injuries, and all eyes on him without a doubt here tonight.
Yeah, he was replaced by Blaine Gabbert midway through the season last year. Gabbert will not play today. That usually indicates that he will start the regular season in 8 days.
On 1st and 10, Kaepernick slings it and completes. Crosses the 20. That's Bruce Miller, one of their backup fullbacks. As we take a look at our impact players, brought to you by San Diego County Toyota dealers. Dan, what do you have?
Well, of course, talk about the quarterback, but also the backup quarterback, Jeff Driscoll, who threw for over 4,000 yards last year after he transferred from Florida to Louisiana Tech. We'll see him a lot in the second half.
So they pick up 9 on a good first down pass. Kaepernick from the gun. They keep it on the ground to Mike Davis, second-year runner, and their 4th-round pick a year ago out of South Carolina, and it is enough for a San Francisco first down. Impact players defensively, Tani Palapoi, the defensive end who, of course, has been dealing with a wide range of injuries. Didn't see him last year. And Jatavis Brown, who they were very high on during training camp, making his preseason debut, their 5th-round pick out of Akron. Florida native, and tonight finally able to suit up as he fights his way back through injury. Here is what made Kaepernick so dangerous during that great run he had before the injuries and disappointment of the last couple of years, running out of bounds and enough for another first down.
Yeah, it's the read option. Nice fake there, and then, as you said, Spiro, an outstanding athlete, very dangerous with his legs. He now has 5 rushes on the preseason for 28 yards.
That rush good for 10. You see Kaepernick's numbers last year, only 2 and 6 in his 8 starts a year ago. On first down, they keep it on the ground to Davis again. And a minimal pickup, Nick DeZubnar among the tacklers for San Diego. This Chargers defense, granted tonight, most of the starters and regulars, Dan, are out, will not play. And so far, the defense has been good. The first string did not allow a touchdown during any point of the first 3 preseason games.
They've given up 324 yards per game on average. It's the rushing attack that they've got to improve upon. Of course, Tennessee just gashed them in the first preseason game for 280 or so.
Kaepernick fires and completes. Second down pass. He's caught. That's Aaron Burbridge, the rookie out of Michigan State. So Burbridge with a pickup of 10 and another 49ers first down.
Absolutely no pass rush for San Diego. But as you said, Spiro, there are no starters on this defense right now. So these are backup players, and you'll hear a lot about that tonight. Guys fighting for a position. And so we'll see just how well they can put pressure on Kaepernick.
Kaepernick, one of only 4 starters and regulars left from that 2012 team that reached the Super Bowl. There's Kaepernick on first and 10, completes again, so he's looked sharp. This is Jeremy Curley, again making his Niners debut, acquired earlier this week in the trade with the Lions. The chance for him, of course, with Anquan Bolden no longer around, Bruce Ellington done for the season, a chance for Curley to become a rotational player.
Well, he'll be a return man for the 49ers, and you can see he works well out of the slot. Had a good career with the Jets in that type of position. And he's got that quickness to make that first tackle miss.
Again, this was a Niners offense a year ago that averaged under 15 points per game, dead last in the NFL. Kaepernick from the gun on 2nd and 2, quick strike, and he completes again, and very methodical and very sharp, despite the boos and the fan reaction he got earlier tonight.
Well, this crowd would like to boo him, and they would like to make a difference in his play, but there's just not enough of them here tonight. The 4th preseason game, the fans are wise to what a 4th preseason game means. It means no starters will play. They got to be ready for the regular season in 8 days. So a lot of people deciding to stay home and listen to your voice calling the play-by-play spirit.
So first and 10 after another completion by Kaepernick. They picked up 7 a moment ago. Kaepernick fakes the handoff. And showing the escapability, Kaepernick crosses the 25. He's still going. Runs out of bounds. Inside of the 15, a couple of late flags come in. Tackle was missed by DeZubnar, who was giving chase. And again, Kaepernick.
It's going to be an illegal block down the field that gave Kaepernick the sideline. But this one's going to be coming back. It'll be marked off from the point of the foul. That's Alex Kemp, number 55. He's our referee tonight.
And so this point, an impressive opening drive for San Francisco, orchestrated by Kaepernick, the 60-year quarterback out of Nevada.
Personal foul, unnecessary. Offense, 15-yard penalty, still first down.
And with that, we go downstairs to Heather Myers. Heather?
Yeah, Dan and Spiro, as you can hear, every time Colin Kaepernick takes a snap, the crowd boos him. And that was a situation not only right here during the game, but when he ran out for warm-ups. Most of the crowd that's here in the stadium tonight was already in their seats by the time warm-ups began. By the time the national anthem began, most of the lower level here at the stadium was full. Colin Kaepernick choosing not to sit on the bench this time, but to take a knee on the side of the field when that song rang out. Guys?
Heather Hanks, certainly expected to hear the boos. Kaepernick did as well.
You know, it's interesting, Spiro, is the number of 49er fans dressed in their red jerseys that are here. And they've got pretty good seats, too. They're right behind the 49er bench, and quite a good contingent of Niner fans, 49er faithful here.
This is DeJuan Harris breaking a couple of tackles and runs out of bounds. Just so ironic, Dan, that this was the next stop for San Francisco after, of course, the big story broke earlier this week about Kaepernick sitting. Very few cities in this country as patriotic or have a strong military presence as the city of San Diego.
And this is the 28th annual Salute to Military Night. So you talk about bad timing for Kaepernick. A lot of Marines here, a lot of servicemen and women. And we salute them all.
Yeah, that's a separate deal from the NFL, something the Chargers have done here for the last 28 years. Their own tip of the cap to our servicemen and women is that pass intended for Bruce Miller. He was incomplete, and Zubnar, the hard-hitting linebacker out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, was there for the stop.
Yeah, he's going to team up with Ben Gardner, the second-year linebacker out of Stanford. You can see Zubnar there just lodging that ball from Bruce Miller.
So 3rd and 3. Kelly will work Kaepernick from the gun here on the opening possession of the night. Kaepernick has time, slinging it near side of the field. That's Curley for his second catch. He's inside the 20. And so Kaepernick once again able to make a play, 10 yards and another first down.
And a good read by Kaepernick, because he's looking for the mismatch, and he finds it with Curley on Craig Mager. Mager's slow to react to that out route by Curley, and it's an easy pickup for another first down for San Francisco.
There's Chip Kelly trying to put the disappointment of last season behind him. 2 good years to begin his tenure in Philadelphia, but last year just a different story. Trying to turn the page in his career in San Francisco. That pass from Kaepernick too high, intended for the tight end Blake Bell. Second-year man out of Oklahoma, and the former 4th-round pick.
Yeah, that's a bad throw by Kaepernick, because he's going to overthrow a guy who is 6'6" in the back of the end zone here. It would have been an easy touchdown, but the ball thrown just sailed on Kaepernick.
Kaepernick 5 of 7, 44 yards. This is Harris again. Harris, the free agent pickup out of Troy, 3rd year in the NFL. And it looks like Ben Gardner a little bit slow to get to his feet. There's Gardner, the 2nd-year man out of Stanford.
Yeah,
practice squad for the Chargers most of last season.
Yeah, he's had a good training camp. He's picked up 1 sack on the year. In fact, that's one thing that John Pagano, defensive coordinator, has got to be happy about. The 9 sacks the Chargers have gotten in 3 games, where they were woeful last season.
Gardner had that strip sack in the loss in Minnesota last week. Kaepernick again from the shotgun on 3rd and 8. And that is a bullet pass caught by Dress Anderson, the 2nd-year man out of Utah. And boy, that pass had a good amount of velocity on it. Dexter McCoyle was there for the stop.
Yeah, McCoyle should have intercepted it. Left side of the screen. Watch. He thinks he's got a fair shot at it, but a heck of a grab in traffic. A fastball from Kaepernick just as McCoyle was coming in to lay the big hit.
So 10-yard pickup sets up a 1st and goal. They keep it on the ground. This is Harris. And Harris is stopped a little bit short of that goal line. We've been talking about the Niners. This is a big night for the Chargers. That final roster cut down coming up from 75 to 53 players this Saturday at 1 o'clock Pacific. And there's some big decisions left for Mike McCoy and his staff. We asked him about how many spots that are realistically left, and he said they've got a pretty good idea, but definitely a number of guys that could make their case here tonight.
The Chargers will have 3rd pick in the at the waiver wire, and they will be looking very closely at that waiver wire. Hope to improve the squad that way.
15th play of the drive. They keep it on the ground, and Harris is into the end zone for San Francisco, and an impressive opening drive orchestrated by Kaepernick. 15 plays, and a drive that began inside their own 20.
It's an option play, and the first option is to give the ball to the tailback, DeJuan Harris. Harris at 5'7", 206 pounds, went in easily, and now the Niners will go for 2. It's something that Chip Kelly was very successful doing when he was at the University of Oregon after that first touchdown of the game. But not this time.
Trying to cut it back, and he is stopped dead in his tracks. Nick Zubnar leading the charge for the Bolts, as San Francisco comes up empty on the 2-point conversion attempts. But despite that impressive opening stint for Kaepernick, 6-0 Niners. There's a sight for sore eyes for Chargers fans. Joey Bosa, the 3rd overall pick, finally ending his 31-day holdout, signed on Tuesday. You know the story by now, longest holdout since the NFL's new CBA was signed back in 2011. And a Chargers fan base that was desperately needed some good news. Dan finally got it.
Yeah, the Chargers have 2 weeks to make a decision on activating Bosa. The evaluation process will begin next Monday for Bosa as the Chargers will practice in pads. And Mike McCoy has yet to see him in any physical contact drills.
So much to talk about with Bosa as he prepares for the season. As Dawson's kick is returned by Craig Mager for 21 yards. So Kellen Clemens gets his first crack as we continue early going in San Diego on CBS. Colin Kaepernick drives San Francisco 75 yards on the opening possession of the night. Niners then missed on a 2-point attempt, so 6-0 as we get our first look at Kellen Clemens. Backup quarterback behind Phillip Rivers here since 2014. 21 career starts under his belt, and the plan tonight is for Clemens to play a good portion of the first half as Rivers electing to put the pads on in uniform, and he will make way, will Clemens, later for Mike Bercovici, the undrafted rookie out of Arizona State. First and 10, first play of the night for San Diego. It's Kenneth Farrow out the last couple of weeks due to injury. As we take a look at our impact players, Farrow, whom we just mentioned, and Gus Johnson signed earlier this week off waivers from Atlanta. Tough news last week, Dan. Brandon Oliver lost for the season with that Achilles injury, so now suddenly that number 3 running back spot is up for grabs.
Andrew Smith also is out for the year. So the Chargers, both Gus Johnson, who Mike McCoy admittedly said he doesn't know anything about, but he will find out tonight. And he does like the way that Farrow performed in that preseason opener against Tennessee.
And we'll see plenty of Johnson. He did not have enough time to even get a padded practice in with his new team before tonight, as Farrow makes the short catch. And a minimal pickup of 4 impact players for the San Francisco defense. Gerald Hodges and Michael Wilhoit, both key rotational players, starters last season for the San Francisco defense that ranked 18th in the NFL in points per game. So 3rd and 3. We'll see what play call Ken Wisenhunt elects to dial up here for the former Oregon Duck, Kellen Clemens. Clemens slinging it over the middle, and it is caught. That's the tight end, Sean McGrath. A pickup of a dozen and a San Diego first down.
A real sharp throw by Kellen Clemens. He's going to be looking all the way to McGrath. McGrath just splitting the linebackers there, making the catch, and this is what you love to see. Getting extra yardage after contact there. Picked up about 6 yards after making this reception.
Darius Green was that backup tight end last season at this time behind Antonio Gates. Green, of course, moving on to the Steelers. And so now McGrath, especially after the injury to Jeff Cumberland, with a chance to get a lot of reps in one of those backup tight end positions. Look at the spin by Farrow. Putting him in the old spin cycle as he rumbles his way up the sideline. Finally run out of bounds by Eli Harold, I beg your pardon, was the man who appeared to be offside. It's a 21-yard catch and run by Farrow.
Yeah, and he left somebody's jockstrap by the name of Dante Johnson along the sideline, didn't he?
Defense, number 59. The result of the play is a first down for San Diego.
Yeah, upper left side of the screen, you can see Aaron Lynch way offside. So how about this move here along the sideline by Farrow? Faking going out of bounds, spinning back to the inside, away from Dante Johnson. And again, hidden yardage there after the catch.
Now, the one thing that they've said about Farrow, not the fastest guy on the field, but he makes up for that with great decisiveness and anticipation. Like McCoy said, Dan, you can kind of see the hole before it opens. And as we move under the 4-minute mark, this is Chris Swain. Told you about his story, the young man who graduated from the Naval Academy back in May, indoctrinated a couple of weeks ago, and is now a Naval Reserve. Not far from here at Coronado. What a night for him as the Chargers in this organization hold their annual salute to the military.
Yeah, how appropriate that he's going to get a lot of action tonight, playing at both the tailback spot, as he did that time, and still competing for that fullback spot with Derek Watt.
As McCoy confirmed to us earlier tonight, it is going to be only one man, one fullback on this opening day roster. So tonight it comes down to those two, Swain and Derek Watt. As Dan mentioned, the rookie and 6th-round pick out of Wisconsin. That's McGrath with his second catch of the drive, a pickup of 7.
Really good timing between Clemens and the tight end. A little pivot route against the linebacker Will Hoyt, and the ball right on target. And McGrath sets the Chargers up on a 3rd and short here, as they're having an impressive drive to start this ball game, led by number 10, Dylan Clemens.
McGrath out of that old college football powerhouse, Henderson State. Undrafted a couple of years ago. And back for his second season with the Chargers. 3rd and short. This is Farrow again, trying to find that marker. Chargers needed the 29. And it appears to be about a yard short.
Yeah, real good job of filling that hole by L.J. McCray. He's from that football factory, Catawba. Remember the famous Ram wide receiver, Bucky Pope? The Catawba Claw, catching passes from Roman Gabriel. You're much too young, aren't you?
I think a little bit before my time, Dan. I'm going to look that up, though.
Book it.
Well, 4th preseason game. Mike McCoy says, why not? We'll roll the dice on 4th and 1. Chargers again need that 29-yard line. Here's Clemens, 4 for 4 on the drive. He's going to take a shot. Has his man, but he overthrew him. Intended for DeAndre Reeves, the undrafted rookie out of Marshall, and Clemens knows he just missed him.
Yeah, curious play call there on 4th and about a yard. They go for the bomb and come up empty.
Time now for tonight's keys to the game, presented by the San Diego County Chevrolet dealers. Dan, what do you have?
Well, the regular season's just 8 days away, and our Charger offense scored only 2 TDs in 3 games. And defensively, 157 yards allowed on the ground on average in the preseason. Just not acceptable. Must improve in the regular season.
Mike McCoy back for his 4th season in San Diego. As Kaepernick back onto the field here in Booze again. Nice little spin move on the play. It's Mike Davis, the 2nd-year runner. Markers thrown behind the line of scrimmage. It's a 13-yard run and an impressive little jaunt from Davis.
Offense, number 61. 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Andrew Tiller, the right guard, caught grabbing one of the Chargers up front, negating a good run on 1st down. But that's what happens with this zone read style of offense. The offensive linemen, very little firing out. They do a lot of positioning and let the backs cut after the quarterback reads who he should, whether he should hand the ball off or keep it himself.
Dan, how did Kaepernick look to you on that first drive?
Very sharp. He just missed one bad throw where he missed the big tight end over the middle, Blake Bell, for the touchdown.
After the penalty, it's 1st and 20. Kaepernick again goes underneath. This is Davis again. Davis up the far side, crosses the 30, and is run out of bounds. I told you about Kaepernick, just an incredible start to his career between that 2012 and 14 stretch. 25 and 14 over his first 39 starts. Led this franchise through the NFC postseason, 3 straight years in the NFC title game. But the second quarter. On 2nd and 8, Kaepernick's pass is batted down and incomplete.
Yeah, really a fine play by Adrian Phillips. He got his left hand in front of that pass. Good coverage to begin with, and then really a good reaction. Watch as he uses his speed to catch up to the receiver, and then with the left hand knocking it away from Blake Bell. The right hand on the back, but it did not pull Bell in one direction or another, so it did not interfere. Just a real athletic play by Adrian Phillips.
Phillips, who had a terrific training camp. Had a chance to talk to Tom Telesco about him a couple of weeks ago. Came away very impressed with what he had seen. And Phillips really a chance at some frontline reps during the season as that pass for Devin Pajust from Kaepernick is incomplete.
Well, Christopher Landrum is going to really come around the corner here. Left side of the screen. Watch him hit Kaepernick as he lets go. And that caused that ball to come up a little bit short and bring up this 4th down punt. Good defensive stand that time for the Chargers as they limit the Niners to 3 and out after the penalty.
The Chargers the Niners went 75 yards on their opening possession. It's a much better showing from John Pagano's defense that time. Fair catch signaled by Isaiah Burse after the 44-yard punt by Bradley Pinion. Stay with us. Well, Mike McCoy taking on his hometown team. McCoy, San Francisco native, grew up in the town of Novato. 4th season for McCoy at the helm of this franchise. On a night that is all about our servicemen and women. Chargers hosting their 28th annual salute to the military. All kinds of pregame pageantry. And what really is a special night to the Spanos family and this entire Chargers organization here in San Diego. Down to the final 20 seconds. 1st and 10. Low snap is taken by Clemens. Quick throw will fall incomplete. And a play that didn't look good from the start. Nearest receiver was the 2nd-year man Isaiah Burse.
Well, once the ball was snapped so low to Clemens, he did the wise thing and just get rid of it because there was nobody open on this side of the field. And as I said, it was a wise throwaway that time.
There's Clemens, 11th year in the NFL. Former 2nd-round pick of the Jets back in 2006. On 2nd and 10, here's Burse on the catch and run. Stumbles across the 40. L.J. McCray, the 3rd-year safety, credited with the tackle, as that should take us to the end of the quarter.
Well, it's going to be a little slant route inside. He got help from the slot position. The little pick play on the outside. Releases, you can see the job there that Sean McGrath did, and a big play on 2nd down for San Diego.
18 yards from Clemens to Burse, trying to earn his keep on this Chargers roster. We are through 1 in San Diego. Niners in front of the Chargers, 6-0. Well, this has to be a thrill for Joey Bosa, again, the 3rd overall pick out of Ohio State, signing his contract this past Tuesday. And taking in his first game. He's a spectator. Dan, yet to take his first padded practice yet with his new team. Hard to believe. Was away from the club for 2.5 months during that 31-day contract dispute. And tonight, finally seen an NFL game as a player, as a professional in the flesh. As we begin the 2nd quarter, that pass is caught by McGrath.
Marcus Cromartie in the coverage.
Defense. Number 3, 10-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
That's Rasheed Bailey, one of Mike McCoy's backup wide receivers.
Yeah, they're trying to run a little pick play that time, but how about the job that Clemens did under real duress to get rid of that ball? But Bailey came in, made contact with the defender who was guarding the receiver. He got away with it one time to pass to Burse, but not that time with a pass to McGrath.
So after the penalty, it's 1st and 20, and now Gus Johnson, one of the newest Chargers on the field for the first time. Clemens' pass is caught, one-handed stab by McGrath. And that is the tight end's 3rd reception of the night. What a catch as they pick up 5.
You called it perfectly. Watch from the left side of the screen. Again, the pivot route, then the right hand goes up, stops the ball, comes down to his body where he grabs it, absorbs the contact, and brings up a second down and about 14, but heck of a one-handed catch.
He played with a couple of pretty good tight ends that could have made that catch, but a good moment from McGrath.
Yeah, you don't make the highlight reel unless the quarterback throws a bad pass and you make a one-handed catch.
Well, you didn't make many bad passes, but they'll have you back every once in a while.
Yeah, that's a bad pass.
Bailey is lit up over the middle by Shane Skov, one of the backup linebackers for Chip Kelly, the second-year man out of Stanford. And Bailey was just blown up.
Yeah, you just can't lead a guy into this type of collision. You've got to be able to read the zone defense here. Skov is just waiting for the receiver to come on the crossing route. And a good legal hit by Skov with a helmet right to the ball to dislodge it.
I remember watching Skov at Stanford, big collegiate career. As Clemens now will work on 3rd and 15.
Yeah, he likes that face paint, doesn't he?
He looks like a football player. Here's Clemens. Once again from the shotgun, slinging it over the middle, and it is caught. This is Burse. Lowers his shoulders inside Niners territory. There is a marker thrown behind the play. It's 16 yards and a first down if it stands.
They're going to call holding against the 49ers, so it will stand. And they'll keep the drive alive. A heck of an effort by Burse.
For San Diego.
And this comes one play after Burse just got lit up by Shane Skov. Clemens hanging in the pocket. There's some real pressure there. As you can see, the coverage by Will Redmond all over Burse, and Burse picks up a first down. Great play. That's the type of play the coaches will remember.
With the injuries that the Chargers have had, you go back to Stevie Johnson on the second day of camp. There's a chance for this kid Burse to not only earn a roster spot, but really get some critical reps. As that stop is made by McCray once again.
Pretty good hit there, as you can see. Kenneth Farrow going backwards. Jay McCray with his second big play of the evening.
McCray, the third-year safety. As Farrow stays on the field here on 2nd and 8. Another run play called by Wisenhunt. As he inches a little bit closer to the 40, a pickup of 4. And of course, the running game expected to be a big part of Ken Wisenhunt's offense. We know how big it was in his 1 year here, Dan, as the O coordinator in 2013, when he had Ryan Matthews at the helm of his attack.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress, though. Throughout the preseason, just 87 yards per game on the ground, and that needs to improve.
The Chargers last year, second to last in the league in terms of rushing yards per game. Here they are on 3rd and 4. Clemens goes through his progressions. Wants to tuck it away and run it. And I thought about it again. Still was behind the line of scrimmage. As he falls a couple of yards short of that first down marker, they credit him with a pickup of 3.
A good move by Clemens to buy some time and then dive forward, and that'll bring up a 4th down, and very tempting again for Mike McCoy, and he keeps the offense out on the field, so they'll try it forward again on 4th down. They're 0 for 3 in the preseason. Missed a golden opportunity last time they had the ball with an overthrown pass that might have gone for a touchdown.
Kellen Clemens, the former Oregon Duck. So Chip Kelly, another one he had at that school. As Clemens completes, and finally they get one converted. It's Burse. 3rd catch of the night for Burse, for just under 40 yards, and that time a first down for the Chargers.
A good decision by Clemens. He gets rid of the ball quickly because he knows Burse doesn't need a lot of yardage to pick up the first down, and ball perfectly thrown. Burse does not lose any momentum at all with the trying to catch the ball, so he spins forward and picks up the first down.
Mike McCoy made a couple of critical cuts, among them Javante Herndon, who just couldn't get himself healthy. And so again, more of an opportunity for a kid like Burse. As Chris Swain is brought down right after he took the handoff. Does manage to pick up a couple.
Yeah, Swain really packs a punch too. He's 6 foot tall, 250 pounds, and is comfortable as a fullback or a tailback. And that's the old adage in this league and in many professions: the more you can do, the more valuable you are.
What a big moment for Swain and a big night for him, trying to earn a roster spot with this Chargers team. And will only keep one fullback on its opening day roster. Clemens firing near side of the field. You see the marker come in at the end of the play. Intended receiver was Bailey.
They're going to call holding here and not pass interference. The officials huddling up here, but clearly it was a hold. That's Rashard Robinson.
Again, Alex Kemp is our referee. Here's the call.
There is no foul for defensive pass interference.
They missed the call. He had both hands on him, and that's defensive holding. And if it's not that, it was 10 yards down the field, so it's illegal contact. So, you know, the officials calling pass interference missed 2 calls basically.
You see the official kind of motion there with Clemens' pass really not even in the vicinity. But Dan, you make a pretty good point. The reason he wasn't even close was because of that contact. But the officials elect to pick up the flag. So 3rd and 8, Clemens from the gun as they mark it just outside the 32. Far side of the field, it is caught, and that will be a Chargers first down. That's Asante Cleveland, the second-year product out of Miami, a pickup of a dozen.
Again, a fine throw by Clemens, and he's got a nice throwing lane there. He leads the receiver away from the defensive back. Good job blocking up front. DJ Fluker playing left tackle this time.
So Cleveland able to move the change as this first half winds down in San Diego with 9 and change left. Some of the pretty pictures from the Hotel del Coronado, one of the most incredible parts of Southern California. It's a great military presence in this community. And tonight, Chargers with their 28th annual salute to the military. Nice little moment during the timeout as these servicemen and women get their rightful due, Dan, from another decent preseason crowd here at the Q.
Yeah, and a nice song by Lee Greenwood. God bless the USA. Everybody on their feet.
This was a night that started with all eyes on Colin Kaepernick, electing to take a knee during the national anthem. And heard his fair share of boos as expected. 1st and 10 after the timeout. And as Chris Swain ducks his shoulder, picks up maybe a yard. And again, Swain in a fight for his professional life, the undrafted rookie from the Naval Academy, as he battles Derek Watt, the 6th-round pick out of Wisconsin.
Also battling for a backup running back spot with Brandon Oliver on IR and Remius Smith out. Danny Woodhide nor Melvin Gordon will play any tonight. Getting ready for the Chiefs in 8 days.
Remius Smith among the last round of cuts that we saw earlier this week on Tuesday. There is a marker thrown again as Clemens' pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, it's going to be holding against San Diego.
Holding. Number 62. 10-yard penalty. Second.
Got to get somebody to change the batteries in that man's microphone. Yeah, Alex Kemp having a little bit of trouble, isn't he?
It's the 2nd straight game here at the Q. We've had some audio issues with our referee.
Well, that's why we need a new stadium.
Like Joe Barksdale. At least he said 72.
Yeah, and that's the problem sometimes with these poor offensive linemen when the quarterback breaks the pocket like that. They're expecting him in the pocket. but once he runs out, sometimes they grab him. First chance to look at Gus Johnson now at tailback.
So here's Johnson, as you mentioned. Signed earlier this week off waivers from Atlanta. And it will be Johnson and Farrell in a battle tonight on this the final preseason tune-up for the San Diego Chargers. We asked Mike McCoy about Johnson, and as Dan alluded to earlier, McCoy was very candid. Said, look, I don't know much about him. In fact, just met him. Not able to have a padded practice since he arrived here on Tuesday. And so they've had to really simplify the playbook and get him ready to play here tonight.
And that was a real simple blast play that time, and a fine job by Will Redmond to slice in there and take the legs out from Gus Johnson.
Johnson spent 4 weeks on Dallas's practice squad last year and 10 weeks with Atlanta. And so was never signed to their active roster. That pass is caught by Don Williams. Football comes loose at the end of the play. There's also a penalty flag on the field. Williams, the undrafted rookie out of Washington State. And it's a pickup of 13. You saw Cleveland fall on the loose football at the end of the play.
Personal foul. Defense, number 33. Goal line. Automatic first down.
So first down for San Diego. With about 7:25 to play before this first half.
You see that hit. Helmet to helmet is always going to be a pass, unsportsmanlike conduct. Rashard Robinson there causing that contact and getting the call. Chargers first and goal because of it.
This could be Clemens' final drive of the night if they're able to get into the end zone. Clemens' quick strike. It's Williams again. Williams, the rookie, 23 years of age, a pickup of 6 as they inch a little bit closer.
That's his 8th catch of the preseason, so we're seeing some guys that are really competing for that wide receiver spot. Burst has had a good first half, and now Williams on back-to-back plays for Clemens.
See Williams, all Pac-12 honorable mention as a senior. Finished his career second in school history in receiving yards. Just under 3,000. On second and goal, this is Swain, the big bruising fullback. Until San Francisco's interior defense able to hold. San Diego trying to punch it in for the first time tonight.
Well, Tank Carradine crashed in from his defensive end spot. Carradine, who goes 295, just bounced off of Swain. Now the Chargers will bring in Derek Watt at fullback and Swain, so it's a big backfield now for Clemens as they move just inside the 2-yard line.
Carradine, a fourth-year man, former second-round pick out of Florida State. As the Niners trying to keep the Chargers out of the end zone. Third and goal with Clemens now working under center. Rosenhunt dials up the run, and Swain lunges into the end zone for the San Diego touchdown.
Just a blast play off the right side by Swain. Watch the block by Watt. And then Swain lowering his head. 6 foot, 250 pounds, and power football there on the goal line for San Diego.
Well, he's the only Charger on this roster that has 2 jobs. As we told you, a member of the U.S. Naval Academy. Now a Naval Reserve on Coronado. Macon, Georgia native, able to punch it in. That point after by Lambeau is good, but just by the skin of his teeth. Chris Swain, all 250 pounds of him. Let's get you tonight's lightning fast facts brought to you by Cox Communications. These two Organizations meeting for the 45th time in the preseason. San Francisco has been dominant. They've taken the last 6 meetings, and 14 times that they've met in the regular season, and that matchup right now all even at 7. Spiro Ditas, Dan Fouts, Heather Myers, our producer Jason Bott, our director Tom Satursi.
So you're not going to ask me how many times I won against the 49ers?
What was your record, Dan?
3-0, baby. My hometown team.
I just had a hunch you were over 500 as Lambeau boots that one through the back of the end zone. Chris Swain getting the Chargers their first points of the night. Well, such a big season for this organization. Chargers, a team that has missed the postseason 5 of the last 6 years, and a big year certainly for that man, Mike McCoy, year 4 here with the Chargers. Had his contract extended about a week after last season ended. And he's got a lot on his mind, without a doubt. That final roster cut down looming on Saturday afternoon. Colin Kaepernick again here in the booze. Third possession for he and the Niners. Completes to Bruce Miller, who's run out of bounds. We go downstairs to Heather Myers.
Standing here with running back Melvin Gordon. Talk about success for you in the preseason. How do you keep that ball rolling into the regular season, Melvin?
Just continue to work hard in practice. We're pushing each other. The defense is pushing us, giving us great looks. We go against the ones every once in a while. But just keep grinding. Keep grinding. We think about last year a lot. We're kind of getting over it, but we don't want to be where we were last year. So we're grinding a little bit harder, but. Those guys are pushing me every day, so it's good to have good leaders on the team.
It's like for you, the philosophy of actions speak louder than words is kind of how you're entering this season. Where we don't need to talk about last season anymore. You're just going to get out in the field and prove who Melvin is this year. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's all it's about. Every year you have to prove yourself in this league. You can't be complacent. Whether it's a good year or a bad year, you got to get over it. You got to come out another year and play and grind. So, that's all it's about. I don't have to, be in the news and talk about how I do this and how I do that. It's just about just putting on your hard hat and coming out to work.
I know that we just showed your touchdown in Minnesota from last Sunday, and during the offseason you had a chance to train with Adrian Peterson. Did you talk to him last Sunday at all?
Yeah, I definitely talked to him. I had to, it's just, it's amazing when you get to watch your idol and play across from him. And I also trained with him, obviously. So, I was just trying a little hard to make something happen, but, it's great. He definitely talked to me after the game.
Fantastic. Melvin Gordon, can't wait to watch you this regular season, and it's been a real pleasure to see your success so far this preseason. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Spiro, Dan?
All right, Heather, and just watching him talk, you can just sense how much more at ease he is, the confidence. Of course, all those touches without a touchdown last year. And we forget, Dan, he's only 7.5 months removed from that very tough microfracture surgery that he had in January on his left knee.
And that, for a guy, as you mentioned, how young he is to have that type of surgery, it's remarkable how he's bounced back from it and shown a couple of big plays. One, that 44-yard touchdown reception in the first game against Tennessee from Phillip Rivers, and then that burst last week against the Vikings for the score.
Well, they're basically hitting the reset button with Gordon, the 15th overall pick from the 2015 draft. As they hope he will kickstart this one game that was just so below average a year ago. That pass is caught. Ryan Whalen, the 50-year wide receiver out of Stanford. A pickup of 11 off the toss from Kaepernick.
One thing you don't see much of tonight from the Chargers is any pressure on Kaepernick. They're not blitzing at all. It's all day to throw.
Dan, we know towards the end of your career you weren't playing in that final preseason game, but what's this night like? Obviously you were on the sideline around guys that were young, just into the league, fighting for their professional life. What was this night like?
Well, you want to see everybody stay healthy, number one. You don't want an injury to be the end of somebody's career. The Niners going it on 4th and short here. And now San Diego will call a timeout.
Timeout, San Diego. That is their first of the half.
All right, Chargers will burn a timeout. Late stages, first half in a one-point game. Seconds before the 2-minute warning, Mike McCoy. And his Chargers right now in front of the Niners, 7-6. There's Chip Kelly, first season in charge of San Francisco. Phillip Rivers is a spectator in this preseason finale for both of these clubs. Chargers, of course, will open the season on September the 11th in Kansas City. And San Francisco will be home to take on the LA Rams in one of those opening weekend Monday night affairs up in San Francisco. Kelly going for it on 4th and inches. Kaepernick to give. This is Harris. Chargers were fooled as Harris burns them up the far side for 15 yards and a first down. And with that,
This is the 2-minute warning. Timeout.
the 2-minute warning. 7-6 Chargers. Time now for tonight's drive of the game. To this point, presented by your San Diego Ford dealers. Clemens to Isaiah Burse. As Kellen Clemens, Dan, able to march him down the field.
Well, he was 7 for 10 on the drive for 74 yards. And then big Chris Swain dives into the end zone for the Chargers' only touchdown. And their second rushing touchdown of the preseason. But a well-engineered drive by Kellen Clemens.
Mike McCoy expected to insert Mike Bercovici, the undrafted rookie at Arizona State, as his quarterback for much of, if not the entire second half. Zach Mettenberger, of course, among the last round of cuts earlier this week.
And Mettenberger picked up by the Steelers today. And Bercovici will probably be waived, and then Chargers hope to re-sign him for the practice squad. McCoy told us he would just keep Rivers and Clemens to start the season.
The pass is complete. That's DeJuan Harris. The marker is thrown. McCoy kept 3 quarterbacks his first year here with the Chargers back in 2013, but only 2 each of the last 2 years. Of course, Rivers and Clemens.
Illegal formation. Number 75 was on the end of the line. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's Colin Kelly, Oregon State product.
And a former Charger quarterback, Brad Sorensen, getting picked up by the quarterback-needy Minnesota Vikings after Teddy Bridgewater suffered that gruesome knee injury
It's
in
devastating.
practice.
That's right. Devastating news out of Minnesota earlier this week. A Vikings team that a lot of the experts had tapped as being one of the teams on the rise in the NFC.
Yeah, former Charger head coach Norv Turner, now their offensive coordinator, will have his hands full trying to replace Bridgewater.
Kaepernick completes again on a 1st and 15. That's Jerron Ham, second-year tight end out of Louisiana Monroe. And Kaepernick, Dan, just slinging it all over the place. That time a pickup of 11.
Well, I really only remember him getting hit one time. So he's had time to throw. Chargers not mounting any pass rush at all.
Got 25 left as the clock continues to run. It's Harris, very close to a first down, and now the officials signal it, as it is enough to move the chains. San Francisco, 3 timeouts still in their back pocket. Kaepernick's going to throw on a run right at the first down marker, and the officials say incomplete. Intended for Kajust, the undrafted rookie out of Stanford.
Just not enough room on the sideline for Kajus to pull this one in. Really tight coverage as well that time by Steve Williams. That's a Stanford guy and a Cal guy going at it, as it should be.
Williams started a couple of games for Mike McCoy last year and a couple of picks. As this time Harris crosses the 20. And that clock continuing to run with about 50 seconds left in the half. You don't see head coaches kind of treat this as they would in a regular season game. McCoy looking on Chip Kelly with all 3 of his timeouts. And so the main objective here, Dan, of course, as you know better than anyone, just getting these guys out of here injury-free.
Especially for the Chargers, who have been hit by the injury bug so hard in the last couple of seasons in training camp and the preseason.
Kaepernick on 3rd and 3. Pocket collapses. Again, here is where he's so dangerous. He's run backwards and then lunges for the first down. As Kaepernick continues to look very impressive, both with his hands and with his feet. Clock stopped at 15 seconds, a pickup of a couple.
Yeah, just short of the first down. You know, he gave ground there to get around the defender at the end and gave it his all to pick up the first down, but he's half a yard short.
So 4th down. We saw San Francisco go for it successfully earlier. Now it looks like Chip Kelly may burn a timeout.
San Francisco.
Well, that last run by Colin Kaepernick is under review. Was it a first down or not? Dan looked to be awfully close. As this is the scene here with Rasheed Bailey, one of the backup wide receivers for Mike McCoy, very gingerly and aided into that Chargers locker room.
This is unusual because normally the referee, and in this case Andy Kemp, should be making the call in the under the hood. But as I see this, I see Kaepernick a good yard beyond that marker. And this should be a 49er first down. He does not step out of bounds. He doesn't land until the ball is about a yard beyond that orange marker that's on the ground. He's eyeballing it all the way. And I'm sure that once the officials come out from under the hood, they will see this clearly a first down for San Francisco.
And Colin Kaepernick, that left shoulder surgery in November. Also had thumb and knee surgeries a couple of months later in January. Still only 28 years of age. And despite all the struggles that he had last year, still 27-20 in his career as an NFL starter. And those are numbers that will get the attention of a number of franchises.
After review, the ball carrier stretched the ball across the line. Enough for it'll be first down. Let's go at the 14-yard line.
All right, we didn't get much of that, but we did hear first down. So Kaepernick and company get the call that they wanted and a fresh set of downs.
You know, our official observer today on the sidelines who was helping out Andy Kemp there, Ed Hockulin.
That's right.
Down on the sidelines. Charger fans remember Ed Hockulin for a number of reasons.
He had the bulging biceps.
And the bad call in Denver.
That's right.
Jake Cutler. Ooh, that one hurt.
Not what he wants to be remembered for, not one of his final moments. So Kaepernick, 1st and 10 from the gun. They spot it just inside the 15. He's going to take a shot. Far side end zone. It is caught. And now the officials say he was out of bounds. So Wainland made the catch, but he just ran out of real estate.
Wainland's got good size at 6'1". Kaepernick throws it away from the defender here. But watch that, both feet are out of bounds. It may have gotten the right foot down inbounds, but the left foot goes out of bounds. Craig Mager on the tight coverage there. And a good call by the officials right on the spot. Obviously incomplete.
Mager, the up and down rookie season a year ago, the former 3rd-round pick out of Texas State. Could be the final play of the half. Kaepernick fires it and nearly picked off the hands of Dexter McCoyle, a young kid who has made a name for himself during camp and through the preseason.
Yeah, with his size at 6'4", 220, strong safety. Watch him break on this ball. Now, if he catches that ball, he's going to go a long way down the sideline. Twice now tonight in the first half, McCoyle's had a shot at an interception. Good read that time on the out route and reading the eyes of the quarterback, Kaepernick.
32-yard attempt from the 18th-year vet, Phil Dawson, and he is perfect. So Colin Kaepernick, awfully impressive in that first half, 11 of 18, over 100 yards. Also a couple of nifty runs to extend San Francisco drives. And Dawson's field goal as the lights have gone out at Qualcomm Stadium. As if this night couldn't get any more interesting.
It's a fireworks show coming up, pal.
Preseason finale for the Chargers and the 49ers. All the controversy surrounding Colin Kaepernick. Not your average exhibition finale. 9-7 San Francisco on CBS. Tonight that has felt anything but the final preseason game for both of these teams. The big storyline, of course, Colin Kaepernick arriving in San Diego on a night that this organization salutes its military presence in this part of the country. Kaepernick electing to take a knee during the anthem for the fourth straight week. Of course, it did not explode on the scene until earlier this week. And again, I thought, all things considered, all the distractions that he really has brought upon himself, he played very well, very sharp in that first half.
Yeah, he has to prove to his teammates that he's all in. They have a divided locker room, whether they want to admit it or not. But you're right, he was sharp. He had 4 carries for 38 yards, which is a 9.5-yard average. 11 of 18 throwing the ball for 103 yards. No interceptions, no sacks. And when you look at the Chargers' first half, the puzzling thing and the real problematic thing is their lack of rushing. 11 carries by the team for just 19 yards. Their longest run in that first half, just 4 yards, and that was by Farrow. So Chargers really not getting it done on the ground, not only in this game, but throughout the preseason, and that's been a huge point of emphasis for Mike McCoy.
Big headline for the Chargers, the signing of Joey Bosa earlier this week on Tuesday. Bosa in street clothes tonight. Mike McCoy and his staff just feeling like it was too sudden to put their 3rd overall pick in uniform. But the plan at this point, and nothing is certain yet, is just to prepare him and to try to get him ready for the opener on September the 11th in Kansas City. But that would only give them really less than 2 weeks, Dan, to get him ready. You're talking about a kid who was away from this team for 2.5 months. It's tough.
Yeah, and McCoy's just not sure exactly how they will use him, or even if they will use him in that first game. They have 2 weeks to make a decision on the roster exemption. And of course, when they bring him back, they're going to have to let somebody go. So another tough decision, but one that has to be made, because the Chargers, they need Bosa. They need all the hands on deck that are healthy and that can make a difference, because there's a lot of challenges in this schedule, especially when you think about going into Arrowhead on opening weekend. What a scene that will be in Kansas City.
There is Bosa, the 3rd overall pick. The Chargers fans certainly deserved some good news after everything they've had to deal with, the uncertainty of this organization, relocation, potentially the big stadium vote coming up in early November. And Bosa certainly a sight for sore eyes as he takes in his first game, albeit from the sidelines since that contract signing earlier this week. Isaiah Burst, 28 yards on the return. And here comes Mike Bercovici, who, after the release of Zach Mettenberger earlier this week, is now the number 3 quarterback, number 2 quarterback in uniform tonight. We get our first glimpse of him here to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Mike McCoy told us he will not keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster. He's hoping to waive Bercovici, have him clear through waivers, and then bring him back and sign him to the practice squad where he can learn under the great quarterback Phillip Rivers.
Bercovici is practice squad eligible, but would have to be cut first and then clear waivers. If the Chargers elect to go that route, they may not want to put him in that position where they risk losing him. So a minimal pickup that time by Kenneth Farrow, the undrafted rookie runner out of Houston. Dan, what have you seen from Bercovici so far in the preseason?
Well, the interceptions are a little troubling, but they're understandable for young. He's thrown 3 picks in that first half, or in that first 3 games of the preseason.
Dan, I thought I lost you. So here's Bercovici, 2nd and 8. He's spotted just inside the 25. Excellent pass protection. Bercovici fires and completes. That's Dom Williams, one undrafted rookie to another. 26 yards and a Chargers first down.
That ball was in the air for a long time, too. You can almost see the hesitation by Williams there as he had to go high and make that catch, not knowing when the defender was coming to hit him. Good throw by Bercovici and a better catch by Dom Williams.
We asked McCoy about Bercovici, all his good attributes. Kid who, of course, doesn't have top flight quarterback skills, certainly at this level after a pretty good collegiate career at Arizona State, but he does everything right. Kenneth Farrow off to the races inside the 10 and a touchdown saving stop by L.J. McCray. 44 yards. What a burst from Farrow.
He gets the corner here and then puts on the Jets. Good read all the way down the line of scrimmage. And now he's thinking touchdown, but the Niners have the angle on him, so he's going to try and pull away from L.J. McCray. But sets up Bercovici and the Chargers at the 6-yard line.
Now the Chargers had that very strong rushing attack the last time Ken Wisenhunt was their offensive coordinator. That was 2013. As Farrow strolls into the end zone. 6 yards, nearly untouched for the Chargers touchdown.
And that is so unusual to see a running back walk into the end zone from the 6-yard line. But watch the vision here. Cuts back right through the middle, a huge hole on that right side.
Well, third stringers and then some, so make what you will of what you'll see in the second half. But Kenneth Farrow, who had missed the last 2 preseason games with that upper body injury, is not officially disclosed. He's looking awfully good on that sequence, the 44-yard run, and then he runs it in from 6 yards out to get the Chargers back in front. Point after by Lambeau is perfect. More runs like this, Kenneth Farrow is going to run his way right into Mike McCoy's offensive attack. Kenneth Farrow, 44-yard run. Set the table for a 6-yard touchdown jaunt that puts the Chargers back in front. So they cover 78 yards in just under 2 minutes. And all on the legs of Kenneth Farrow. Kick from Lambeau sails through the back of the end zone. And of course, the new touchback rule on kicks will give San Francisco the ball in the 25. Another look at the Farrow run. Farrow getting the bulk of the carries tonight. We know that Melvin Gordon and Danny Woodhead are unavailable, this being the final preseason tune-up. You see that last drive, much different scenario than what we saw from the ground game back in the first half. Quarterback change for Chip Kelly. Jeff Driscoll, their 6th-round pick out of Louisiana Tech. First time we've seen him, and they like this kid in terms of his athleticism, Dan, and his size, especially in a Chip Kelly-oriented offense.
Yeah, but you can't hesitate as your quarterback running the ball. He tried to put a move on the tackler instead of just scampering out of bounds and getting a couple yards. He unnecessarily took a hit there, but he's young, you know, just a rookie. He'll learn, though.
And Driscoll, the Florida transfer. A kid that they felt good enough about to take in the 6th round. And Driscoll, nice little trickery. After the fake handoff taken on tacklers as he crosses the 40, 13 yards and a nifty first down run for San Francisco to Zubnar on the tackle.
But you can really tell the Chargers did not game plan for the 49ers and this zone read option type of offense that Chip Kelly likes to run, because they are just misreading just about every time the quarterback pulls the ball away from the ball carrier and keeps it, whether it's Kaepernick or now Driscoll.
Driscoll from the gun on 1st and 10. That pass is intercepted. Picked off by Adrian McDonald. Well, Driscoll telegraphed it And the undrafted rookie safety out of Houston was there for the pick.
Isn't that a great scene, though? All his teammates congratulating him. Third interception of the preseason by the Chargers, and the first for Adrian McDonald, a play he will never forget.
Interception by the undrafted rookie out of Houston, Adrian McDonald. Third pick for San Diego in the preseason, as Dan just pointed out. And what a moment for that young man. Survived the first round of cuts earlier this week, and hoping to do the same as rosters are pared down to the final 53 on Saturday afternoon. So Mike Bercovici back onto the field, second possession of this third quarter, and a fumble on the play. It was not taken cleanly. Those two hadn't had much time to work together. Gus Johnson with the fumble, but does recover. Another look at the last drive, a long run, Dan, from Farrell.
Yeah, really a couple of key blocks there. Chris Swain and then Isaiah Burst. And it's all paid off by Farrell as he goes 50 yards in just 2 plays and a walk-in touchdown. And here's the interception by McDonald here as he steps in front of the receiver of the 49ers. That's Blake Bell, who's been a busy target for both Kaepernick and Driscoll, but McDonald had none of it.
Bercovici after the muff handoff fires, and he's picked. That's Rashard Robinson, the 4th-round pick out of LSU. Robinson still going, trying to find some daylight. And just a bad decision as he goes backwards, loses about 15 yards at the end of the play. Eventually tackled by Gus Johnson. So Bercovici gives it right back. Dan mentioned the interception issues that he's had so far in the preseason, and that will certainly draw the ire of Mike McCoy. So Niners football when we come back, 14-9, Chargers in front. Picked by Adrian McDonald, and then Rashard Robinson doing the same to Mike Bercovici. So Mike McCoy will watch his defense work here. Early stages, third quarter, and this is the final preseason game for the Chargers and the 49ers. Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. Spiro Adidas, Dan Fouts, Heather Myers, and the rest of our Chargers preseason crew on 1st and 10. This is Mike Davis. As we go downstairs, send it to Heather Myers, standing by with a special guest. Heather?
Spiro, Dan, it is Military Appreciation Night, and I want to interview here the guest of honor, Commanding General of MCRD San Diego, Brigadier General Bill Journey. Thank you so much, not only for your time tonight, but for your service to our country.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a just an amazing night. The support, the generosity of the San Diego Chargers here has just been amazing. Long-standing relationship here in the community. It's just been a real special night. It means a lot.
Let's talk about the number of military personnel in the crowd and what it means to them to see a giant flag unveiled on the field and to see former Navy SEALs parachuting into the stadium. Just the amount of camaraderie here is almost overwhelming.
Well, I tell you, it's humbling. It's actually an honor for those of us that had the opportunity to attend tonight to represent all the men and women who sacrifice and serve with distinction. And so it's been a great opportunity for us, but it is humbling.
Support the San Diego Chargers as well. Let me ask you this: as you personally are standing on the sidelines, listening to the national anthem, what goes through your mind?
Well, it certainly reminds us of the sacrifices of all those past and present, and their families. And so it brings a lot of special feeling, but we're all reminded that freedom isn't free.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. Brigadier General Bill Journey, do appreciate it. And again, your service to our country is incredible. Thank you. Obviously a decorated service member here. Dan, Spiro.
All right, Heather, thanks. Trevor Williams with a pick, and suddenly it's an interception party as Driscoll with just a rough start. 2 picks in his first offensive possessions.
Well, finally, the Chargers are getting some pressure on the quarterback. That time, Chris Landrum with the pressure that forced the poor throw that Trevor Williams picked off from his knees. A good return all the way inside the 40-yard line.
Williams, the undrafted rookie out of Penn State, what a collegiate career he had, Baltimore native. trying to survive that final roster cut down on Saturday. I'm not sure what the officials are looking at here. Perhaps where Williams was tackled,
or if he did indeed catch that ball.
I didn't get a clean look at it. We'll have to go back to the replay here. So the officials, I believe, will go to a review, as is the case automatically on any turnover, and we'll get a timeout. And we are having audio difficulties with Alex Kemp's microphone. The Trevor Williams interception will stand, but the 22-yard return, Dan, negated.
I'm not so sure. Because
now they say no. They say that he was not touched.
But he clearly was touched by Devin Kajus, who reached out and hit him on the heel. But good news for the Chargers is they draw a break there with that 22-yard return by Trevor Williams.
So Williams, the two-time honorable mention All Big Ten selection at Penn State, the fourth Chargers interception of the preseason. So Bercovici a chance to atone for the last pick that he threw. This is Gus Johnson with a big roster opportunity here, acquired from Atlanta off waivers. 13 yards and a San Diego first down.
That's an I formation. Swain is the lead blocker, but the vision to cut it all the way back off the left tackle by Gus Johnson. And he shows the fans here a little something and why the Chargers picked him up.
You certainly know what the Chargers running game is going to look like with Gordon and Woodhead, but we don't know much after that. And suddenly now Kenneth Farrell and Gus Johnson battling for the confidence of their head coach Mike McCoy. This is Chris Swain trying to do the same. Swain listed as a fullback as he picks up 11 that time in a first down. Dante Johnson on the stop.
And they like Swain's hands. You know, he played in Navy where they throw the ball like once every month. He showed agility, turning his body, making the catch, and getting a Charger first down.
We haven't seen much of Derek Watt till this point. Swain a touchdown earlier. Young man who's had to miss a couple of practices because of his naval duties. Indoctrinated in Coronado, stationed there not far from where we are here at Qualcomm Stadium. That's Gus Johnson as we move inside of 8 minutes left in the quarter.
Demetrius Cherry with the stop. 2-yard gain.
Pickup of 2, and they will mark it at the San Francisco 12. There's Chip Kelly, fired after a 6-9 start in Philadelphia last year. Interesting timing. It surprised some people around the NFL just because of the timing. And not trying to resurrect his coaching career up in San Francisco. Markers whistle that play dead. Dan, how are your lip reading skills?
Pretty good. That was offsides. 5-yard penalty brings up second down. I can do it live too. You know, my lips never move.
Oh boy.
Either that or Andy Kemp, our referee, or Alex Kemp, has got to shout.
Oh boy.
Makes me want to shout.
Brett Boyko. Man in motion. This is Bercovici under center. The drop over the middle, burst! Beautiful little juke move, and he's into the end zone. 17 yards on a catch and run from Bercovici.
Yeah, he's going to make L.J. McCray look foolish on this one. Caught the slant from Bercovici, who got rid of the ball quickly to Burst. Now watch the move. Right about there. There goes McCray to the ground and Burst to the end zone.
Burst, the second-round man out of Fresno State. And McCoy has talked about him being a little bit more advanced on the inside as opposed to the outside at this early stage of his career. Told you about the opportunity that kid has in front of him. Injury to Stevie Johnson and some of the other roster moves that the Chargers have made. Burse, 17 yards on the catch and run, 21-9 San Diego.
This broadcast is copyrighted by NFL Productions for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of NFL Productions is prohibited.
Mike Bercovici on a drive coming up right after the interception he threw earlier. Marches the Chargers 38 yards, 4 plays, and they cap it off with a 17-yard touchdown toss to Isaiah Burse. And Dan, that's what you want to see from the young quarterback. You make a mistake, you dust yourself off, and come right back.
Well, they took advantage of the officials missing the contact after the interception by Trevor Williams. Gave the Chargers that 22-yard interception return, and take advantage of that when you get it. And of course, once you get an athlete like a Burse in the open field, let him do his thing. And you saw what that was. He totally faked out L.J. McCray. 4 catches now for Burse, including that 17-yard touchdown catch.
So here's Driscoll, the 6th-round pick out of Louisiana Tech. Guard to transfer, to keep it on the ground. Here's DeJuan Harris, barely able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Well, final preseason tune-up for this Chargers team, and Dan, such a big season for this franchise on so many different levels. You know, just 1 playoff appearance the last 6 years, the stadium vote that looms, and without a doubt, a big season for that man, Mike McCoy, trying to get this Chargers team back into the postseason.
And you see just what type of influence new offensive coordinator Ken Whisenhunt can have if he can resurrect the success he had a few years back with Melvin Gordon. Chargers would be in good shape.
And Driscoll somehow escapes a sack. Probes the field as he would just throw it out of bounds. Whisenhunt back after his unsuccessful stint as Tennessee's head coach the last couple of years. And well, some of the answers to these questions will start to be answered less than 2 weeks from today, as this team will open up in Kansas City on 9/11. There's Whisenhunt on that Chargers sideline. Will Joey Bosa be in the mix? Nothing definitive from McCoy about his 3rd overall pick, whom they finally were able to sign early this week on Tuesday. But these next few months, Dan, if you're a Chargers fan, just so critical. And so we try to figure out where this organization goes from here. Here's Alex Kemp.
Okay, I'm going to give a shot at this. This is holding offense, number 75. And the penalty will be refused. Bring up 4th down. How did I do?
This is going to be fun for the rest of the night. Colin Kelly.
I'll give you a shot at it. I won't hog all the
well, you just took the easy one. You got a hold. You got a false start. So Kelly, the man who is penalized, and the punt team sent out by Chip Kelly. Bradley Pinion, his 2nd-year punter, his 5th-round pick out of Clemson onto booted away. Isaiah Burse back deep. And he's going to play it from just inside his 35, and he is going backwards. Isaiah Burse took 38 yards on the punt from Pinion. And Burse with a loss of a couple. It's been a busy week of transactions. Of course, the Bosa signing on Tuesday. They acquired Gus Johnson off waivers from Atlanta. I mentioned the injury to Brandon Oliver. Donovan Clark lost for the season to a devastating injury. And one thing about Javonte Herndon and Dreamus Smith, whom Dan mentioned earlier, if both players clear waivers, there is a pretty good chance that they'll be back with the Chargers once the season begins.
And once they get healthy.
Herndon just has not been able to get himself healthy. A man who real high hopes for training camp open. 24 catches a year ago, but just did not have the luck he was looking for in camp. Shane Scove on the stop. And Gus Johnson a pickup of a couple.
A lot of talk around the league and in the league offices about eliminating this 4th game of the preseason and just giving the players 2 weeks off after that all-important 3rd game so they can get ready for the regular season. If I had to vote, it would be yes.
Again, a lot of the fans of this generation don't know that there used to be 6 preseason games. And that just kind of hurts the brain. Doesn't even think about it. As Burris makes a sliding catch, a pickup of 8.
And back in those days, I was fortunate enough to play in a couple of those preseason years where there were 6. And the rosters weren't as big as they are now. So it was a real grind until you got to the season. And the season, of course, was just 14 games long. But by the time you've played 5 games into the regular season, it's rough. But players have it totally different now with their collective bargaining agreement. And they don't even have to practice in pads, but 14 times a year. A lot of my ex-teammates or former teammates are going, "You've got to be kidding me."
We know the commissioner, Roger Goodell, has been on record as saying that he is not a fan of the 4-game preseason. Good chance that that could be changed.
And he's also a fan of the stadium initiative, Vote Yes on C, for San Diego, because he wants to see the Chargers stay in San Diego. The entire NFL is in agreement on that. And of course, the opportunity to host not only the Super Bowl, but a lot of world-class events in a new venue in downtown.
And once again, that vote coming up on November the 8th. Bercovici lit up. And San Francisco coming hard. Marcus Rush on the sack, a loss of 8. And we go downstairs to Heather Myers.
Thanks, Dan and Spiro, standing here with the hitman, Jaleel Adai. Thank you so much for your time. Let's talk about the brotherhood that the defense is, and how is Joey Bosa fitting into that?
We're fitting in real well. You know, this is a family. You know, whoever it is, it doesn't matter who you are, we treat you as family, and you can see how we're playing out there, and it shows.
I have to ask you about your interception during the Cardinals game, and I understand that you actually had a dream about that ahead of time. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I had a dream. I had a dream that I made a play, and my family was in this. I had interception. My family was in the stands, and this one I took to the house. I took to the house for 6, and I got the ball and I threw it to my mom and dad. The crazy thing about it, I didn't get in for 6, but my dad was standing right there, and I got to toss him my first one.
What was the conversation with your dad like after the game? What did he say to you?
He was like, son, I always dreamt that. I always knew that you were going to run up to me and throw me the ball, and I had so much to say. He said, when I seen you running my way, I locked up, I froze up. It was a surreal moment. So it was awesome. It was a blessing to have my family, you know, in the stands for that moment.
The water guy's here to make sure that you don't get too thirsty. Thanks, Joe. I think we're good. Talk about the regular season, what your short-term goals are.
Just to compete, continue to play my game, communicate well, and play at a high level. As you see tonight, we're getting our hands on a lot of balls. And as a defense, that's what we want to do. We want to create turnovers and get an extra possession for the offense.
Nicknamed the Hitman, you certainly do live up to that.
I love to hit. I got to pick and choose. My goal is to play all 16. But when I'm out there on that field, that's what I like to do. I like to impose my will. I'm a presence back there. And if I can do that and help my team win, I'm going to do it.
Jaleel Adai. Keep dreaming, will ya? I love seeing those dreams come true. All right, Dan Spiro.
All right, Heather, thanks. For those of you watching tonight's game in San Diego, Big Brother will air immediately following tonight's game. Just a programming note, as that punt by Kaiser through the back of the end zone. 53 yards on the punt. Kaiser, the rookie, 6th-round pick out of Texas A&M. And well, listening to Jaleel Adai, Dan, so much of a burden on his shoulders. Of course, the departure of Eric Weddle to Baltimore. And a lot of pressure now on his shoulders there, leading returning tackler in the secondary from a year ago.
And we'll see how he works with Dwight Lowry in the secondary. The acquisition from Indianapolis. Lowry, who's played for the New York Jets, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Atlanta Falcons, and last year with Indianapolis. Brings 16 career interceptions along with him. So a veteran presence there to go along with the Adai.
A quarterback change for Chip Kelly in San Francisco. This is Christian Ponder, a free agent acquisition who's bounced around the NFL. Just has not been able to find a home to this point. 5th year in the NFL after a very good collegiate career at Florida State.
9 yards.
Nick Zubnar was there for the Chargers.
Yeah, the pride of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, the Mustangs, coming off a little gingerly. You talk about a hitman. This guy made a name for himself last year on special teams, and he lays it all out on the line every time he takes the field.
Zubnar was McCoy's leading special teams tackler a year ago. Certainly hope that he's okay. He's someone who's going to be called upon for some very important work come the regular season. There's Ponder. Zubnar 7 tackles and a couple of assists so far tonight. There's Ponder. It's over a minute to play in the quarter. Spins his way over the 30 and brought down to around the 31. Mal Johnson on the tackle for the Bolts.
Yeah, good decision that time by Christian Ponder. Knew he just needed a couple yards to pick up the first down, and instead of risking the throw down the field, saw an opening and picked it up.
Ponder from the gun. This is 1st and 10. Has his man wide open. It's Jerron Ham, the tight end. And Ham out of bounds right around the 45-yard line. A pickup of 24 and another first down.
Boy, you talk about wide open. Beating the outside coverage that time. Coming over late for the coverage is Adrian McDonald. You can see how the Chargers working that two-man zone there. Adrian Phillips taking the short route, and good read by Ponder to find Ham.
Ponder bullet pass, far side of the field. It is caught. It's Aaron Burbridge, second reception for the 6th round pick. And the rookie out of Michigan State. And that clock still running with 15 seconds left in the quarter. Could be the final play of the quarter. Ponder has time, lets her rip again. Blake Bell unable to make the over-the-shoulder catch with 1 second remaining in the quarter.
It's pretty clear that Blaine Gabbert's going to be the 49ers starting quarterback. And the question is, will Kaepernick be the backup, or will it be Christian Ponder? Ponder has the 5 years experience on Jeff Driscoll, the rookie, who we've seen earlier in this half. But it's Ponder and Kaepernick that are going to be fighting it out for the backup spot behind Blaine Gabbert.
There's Ponder, final play of the quarter. We just lunged forward, very close to the first down marker. Needed the 35. Chris Landrum, the undrafted rookie out of Jacksonville State, credited for the tackle. Appears to be short as that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 21-9 Chargers. Well, this was Colin Kaepernick during the singing of God Bless America during that last stoppage. You see Kaepernick applauding. He did take a knee during the national anthem before the game, and that had to surprise some people here during the last sequence there during that last break. Kaepernick electing to continue in what has been a very controversial protest of what he has called mistreatment of African Americans and minorities around the country, specifying the police in various parts of the country. That's Kelvin Taylor, the rookie 6th round pick out of Florida, as he is able to move the chains for San Francisco. You talked about Kaepernick, Dan, and no matter what side of the conversation you lean on, whether you agree with what he's done or not, just from a football aspect, this organization has a tough decision to make in what you do with him. They asked Chip Kelly earlier this week if Kaepernick is one of their 2 best quarterbacks. As that pass is caught. What a catch by Bell for the Niners touchdown. There is a marker thrown behind the play back at the 14-yard line. It's a 34-yard strike from Ponder.
This one's coming back. Pass interference against Bell. He was tangled up down the field with the Charger defender. And rarely do you see the offensive player get called for pass interference here. It's a good throw by Ponder and a heck of a catch by Bell, who's 6'6".
Bell is their 4th round pick, was a year ago out of Oklahoma. So the 34-yard touchdown catch negated, and they mark it back at the 44. Opening minute, fourth quarter. This is Taylor, 6th-round rookie out of Florida. But just to get back, Chip Kelly, they brought in to, of course, resurrect an offense, Dan, that was dead last in the NFL. And now you could potentially kind of remove Kaepernick, who in this offense could be pretty good. So big decision coming up with that final roster cut coming up on Saturday.
Well, it's no secret that 49ers are trying to trade Kaepernick since the middle of last season when they benched him, and there were no takers in the NFL. But he did perform well tonight, although it was against second and third teamers of San Diego.
Pass responder is incomplete, intended for Burbridge. You got the injury concerns with Kaepernick, and now, of course, the distractions that he has brought upon the entire organization.
And they were talking about him losing weight because he's gone to a vegan diet, and that his arm was dead earlier in camp. His arm looked pretty good tonight. I mean, he had a lot of zip on the ball, and sometimes that's he's his own worst enemy because he throws a lot of fastballs, rarely can feather the ball into a receiver, but his arm strength looked fine to me tonight.
Kaepernick and his agents demanded that trade, as Dan pointed out during the offseason. But if, in fact, he does stick with this team, if there's one guy who can kind of turn him around and maximize his skill set that is so unique, it's certainly Chip Kelly. As Blake Bell makes the catch.
He does seem to be a perfect fit for this offense. The quarterback being able to run, all you have to do is remember when Kelly was coaching Marcus Mariota at the University of Oregon. Mariota went on to win the Heisman Trophy, a tremendous athlete in his own right. Very athletic, good runner with 4.4 speed, and Kaepernick at one time was a quarterback who could put down a 4.4 40 as well.
This is Phil Dawson. He'll try to boot it in from 47 yards out. Dawson has the distance, but he is wide to the left. So San Diego will maintain its 12-point lead as we continue on a Thursday night in San Diego. Well, the Chargers open the 2016 home schedule here at the Q on Sunday, September the 18th against a Jacksonville team that is expected to be much improved. For tickets to that game or any other game on the home schedule, just call 1-877-CHARGERS or visit chargers.com.
Chance to see Blake Bortles, the quarterback for the Jaguars. A tough defense by their defensive-minded head coach, Gus Bradley.
Dan, you buying Jacksonville as a team on the rise?
Oh, absolutely. I think that Bradley's done a good job with that defense, and Bortles is an up-and-coming young quarterback. Big, strong, good arm. They'll be a tough team in that AFC South.
Just under 13 minutes left as Gus Johnson takes the carry. He's going backwards. We just saw Phillip Rivers on the sideline, less than 2 weeks away from the opener, Dan, in Kansas City. You've been here before, final preseason game and then transitioning to the opener. How deep into their preparation for the Chiefs would you say that the Chargers are right now?
I'd say they're at least 50% in. Obviously they haven't shown any of it here in the preseason. You never want to, but you do practice for your opener certain parts of the situational part of the game. Third downs, red zone, coming off your own goal line at times. So all these situations, I'm sure the Chargers have practiced for the Chiefs in mind.
Well, here's Johnson showing some catch and run ability.
And now he's going to get called for a taunting penalty. You just can't do that. He got a good hit on the tackler on the sidelines, but then got in his face, and this good run will be coming back.
And this could be a unsportsmanlike penalty.
This is a 15-yard run. It's going to be totally wiped out, or catch and run.
Alex Kemp is our referee. We have been having audio issues with his mic. Haven't been able to hear him tonight.
I'll let you you handle this one then.
Of course, he'll give me this one. Dan's been doing a nice job reading his lips for us tonight.
after the play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Boy, you're good.
For 33. Good catch with one hand, gets away from the tackler. And now with a good hit there, but he gets right into his face. And the officials are going to call that every time so that it doesn't escalate into some type of physical contact.
Now, this is one of the rule changes that the NFL has instituted after that altercation between Odell Beckham Jr. and Josh Norman last year. You are automatically ejected on a second unsportsmanlike penalty as of this season in the NFL. So guys are going to have to be able to keep their emotions in check. Johnson was not able to do that on that last sequence.
It's a shame too, because he made such a good catch and a good run and finished the run with a good hit on the tackle.
And again, Johnson dumped down for a loss.
The previous play, it was a 10-yard gain.
It's B.J. McBride able to punch his way through and get to Johnson.
Loss of 3 yards.
Told you about Johnson's year last season, 4 weeks on Dallas's practice squad before spending about 10 weeks on Atlanta's practice squad. Former Southland Conference Player of the Year as a senior. Also bounced around with the Raiders before training camp last year. And at that point moved down to Dallas. Berkovici dumped down for the sack. And that was a jailbreak for the Niners. Garrison Smith lead the charge. And right now San Diego's offense going the wrong way.
That's second sack of the preseason for the first-year player out of Georgia, Garrison Smith. And Berkovici, like he was just swallowed by a big wave with number 78 on it.
And Berkovici knows he's not playing at ASU anymore. It's a different animal. Even in the fourth quarter of the fourth preseason game. Playing for his professional life, at least with the Chargers. And what hopes will be a long rookie season. Berkovici trying to go underneath, and Ronald Blair was there for the Niners.
And you said something about the Chargers going in the wrong direction. Another negative play thanks to Ronald Blair. And this is all because of the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Gus Johnson, who's hearing about it on the sidelines right now.
Loss of 8, so Drew Kaiser summoned again. Kaiser's been one of the bright spots of the preseason. First time Mike Cyphers is not San Diego's lead punter since 2003.
And
this
backwards,
now is getting really ugly.
Yeah, backwards they go again. Ball start, offense, number 23. Down.
Dan, I think you got a second career in your future.
How's it pay? Stevie Williams, the number 23. One of the gunners on the outside. What a tough position that is. You got two guys right on your nose trying to keep you from getting down under the punt.
Chargers had one of the least efficient punt games in the NFL last season. Kaiser on opening day would be only the third punter since 1994. That is incredible. And Cyphers and then Darren Bennett before him. This is the Andrew White. Across the 45 and run out of bounds at around the 47. 49 yards with a punt from Kaiser. Timeout in San Diego. Left to play, fourth quarter in San Diego at the Q. Spiro Ditas, Stan Fouts, Heather Myers, our producer Jason Bott, Tom Satursky, our director, and the rest of our fabulous crew here at the Q. Preseason game number 4. And San Diego will make their final roster cuts on Saturday afternoon and then begin final preparations for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they will open up against NKC on 9/11. Here's Christian Ponder. Fakes the handoff, and then Ponder somehow escapes the sack again. That pass falls incomplete. Ponder 4 years as Minnesota's starter. Boy, you think the Vikings Dan would like to have him back.
Well, that'll be interesting. If he gets cut by the 49ers, there's a possibility because the 49ers doubt that they will keep 3 quarterbacks. And off the play tonight of Colin Kaepernick, it looks like if Chip Kelly is what he said last week about him being the top 2 quarterbacks on the team, Ponder may find himself back in Minnesota.
Bill Polian, the Hall of Fame executive, now television analyst in the NFL, going on record this week saying that he thinks Minnesota will eventually find a way to bring Ponder back after that devastating knee injury suffered by Teddy Bridgewater earlier this week.
You talk about a freak injury too. In practice, non-contact, and a just devastating dislocation and tear of the ACL. I wish him the best. Good kid.
And Vikings, a team on the rise, is Kelvin Taylor. The first down running more, just shy of the 25. The team going upwards, brand new stadium in Minnesota. So much excitement in that city surrounding that team. And it just shows you how fine that line is between success and excitement, and then the world just crashing down around you.
And it's amazing because the Vikings have built that new stadium, they will get a Super Bowl. The second time that the Twin Cities have hosted the Super Bowl.
Ponder has his man, and that pass is incomplete through the hands of the Andrew White, the undrafted second-year man out of Alabama.
That's an opportunity to make a catch, get in the end zone, have something to brag about. Larry Scott with the coverage there. That ball just flat dropped by DeAndrew White.
There's Chip Kelly. Well, pretty good success in his first 2 years in Philly, certainly offensively. But then the bottom just completely fell out and eventually fired last season at 6-9. Ponder throwing on the run across his body, intended for Jerron Ham. And so this is a different opportunity as Kelly back on the West Coast after that legendary run at Oregon. And now the officials say it was a completion by Ham.
And we have holding against the Chargers.
First down.
So they will take the penalty, bringing up an automatic first down for San Francisco. The interesting thing about that whole Philadelphia thing, and Charger fans who saw DeMarco Murray rip them for a 71-yard touchdown run in the first preseason game. Murray went to Philadelphia via free agency after leading the NFL with 1,845 yards behind that great line in Dallas. But he was not the same type of back that Kelly likes. Kelly likes a guy that can make a bunch of cuts and get up the field. Murray more of a straight line runner. And he will do quite well behind the Tennessee line because that system works to his favor. It's very similar to what he ran when he was with the Cowboys.
That's right, a 10. Ponder trying to go right back to DeAndrew White. Now, one of the questions that Chip Kelly had to answer repeatedly last year is why is the defense on the field so much, and is it something that is hampering your team? And something that he was really sensitive about, that Philly defense just overworks. As Ponder is sacked, Ben Gardner getting to the quarterback for his second straight week. They dump him for a loss of 5. As those third stringers coming for Ponder.
Right side of the screen comes number 49, Ben Gardner, right around the corner there. As he just ran right by the right tackle.
Gardner, we told you, practice squad player with the Chargers most of last season. As that pass is caught, that's the tight end Ham, the second-year man out of Louisiana Monroe. 21 yards from Ponder.
Gain of 21 yards. First and goal. The 49ers at the 6.
So Ponder has him set up, first and goal, just outside the 6. Ponder, quick strike, goes underneath. It's Kelvin Taylor inside the 5, and then a late flag at the end of the play. Could be a face mask.
It's definitely against San Diego.
Nick DeZubnar on the tackle.
It was DeZubnar there.
Yeah, good to see DeZubnar back in the game. Remember, he was slow getting up and going off the field, but he's going to get flagged. Flag for this personal foul. Watch as he reaches out with his left hand. He's going to get all that grill there right in front of the officials and brings down Taylor by the face mask and legs.
So a San Francisco team that went just 5-11 last season behind Jim Tom Shula. Trying to punch it in, and they do. It's Ponder calling his own number. So that makes it a one-score game.
And this is the second rushing touchdown of the preseason for Christian Ponder. Little option play, and then just needed 2 yards to get into the end zone. And he makes an exclamation point with that spike.
Ponder, 36 games as an NFL starter. A lot of people forget he helped the Vikings reach the postseason back in 2012. That was AP's MVP season in Minnesota. Seems like an awful long time ago as he tries to catch on and claim a roster spot under Chip Kelly up in San Francisco. 21-16. Oh, when you're in your 14th season and a future Hall of Famer, you don't have to play in the preseason. We did not see Gates in uniform for any of the 4 exhibition games. And yeah, that's got to be tricky, even when you've got all the experience, all the success that Gates has had. So you try to kind of preserve your body, but you also try to get ready for the season, timing and all those kinds of issues. I see you shaking your head.
I'm not too worried about Gates because he and Rivers, they can do it in their sleep. They're such a great tandem over the years. What a 1-2 punch.
Gates, the 5-time All-Pro. A little under 2 weeks away from opening his 14th season in the NFL. Stay with us. Final 5:53 of the preseason. Spiro Ditas, Dan Fouts, Heather Myers. Back with you from the Q. With just a handful of fans still in the house. Salute to the military. 28th annual tip of the cap to our servicemen and women that the Chargers and the Spanos family have hosted here at Qualcomm Stadium, which has become quite the tradition. A little extra storyline tonight, of course, surrounding Colin Kaepernick, who kneeled during the anthem and then elected to stand, interestingly enough, later on during the singing of God Bless America. And with that, we go downstairs to Heather.
All right, Dan Spiro standing here with Brandon Mebane. Talk about Joey Bosa, the addition here to the defense and what that's done.
Oh, he's like I said earlier to the other reporter. Joey is a great player, man. He has great technique for a rookie, and you know, he's always open and willing to learn. And I think he's gonna have a great future in the NFL.
Played on a Super Bowl winning defense in Seattle. What are you able to teach these younger guys?
Oh man, just be consistent. You know, don't make things up. Just take one play at a time, and you know, just stick together out there in the field.
High expectations of yourself this season?
Yeah, my expectations is, you know, stay consistent and just play football. That's it.
Let's talk about Military Appreciation Night, because I know that your dad served in the Air Force, and that had to mean a lot to you, not only to see the crowd here tonight, also during the national anthem, everybody is standing up, with the exception of one person. That had to mean something to you.
Well, yeah, man. You know, my dad. You know, we talked about that earlier. How, you know, when he served in the military, I think he was in 1966 when he was in Puerto Rico, stationed in Puerto Rico, and he was just telling about his experience. You know, serving for the you know, the U.S. Air Force, and you know, I also had like I got like 5-6 uncles. They also served like in the Army and the Marines and everything. And so yeah, I have a lot of family that served in the military. And so it's, you know, it's a great honor privilege to have, you know, family members that actually, you know, served in the armed forces.
Brandon Mebane, keep up the good work. Looking forward to seeing you in the regular season.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thanks. Dan Spiro.
All right, Heather, thanks to Demetrius Cherry on the recovered fumble to give the football back to San Francisco. Here's another look at the play.
Well, Berkovici's under a lot of pressure from the outside. You can see number 44 come in there. That's Marcus Rush. What a perfect name for a pass rusher.
Yes, sir. That pass to the back of the end zone intended for Jerron Ham, who's been a busy man in the second half. But just to get back to Brandon Mebane, you mentioned his dad serving in the Air Force actually before he was born, kind of taking in the salute to military night. But you can make a pretty good argument, Dan. He was their biggest offseason acquisition, what with the run defensive issues that they had last season behind John Pagano.
Yeah, and that's a nose tackle.
On second and 10, this is Kelvin Taylor making guys miss down to the 10, first down and more for San Francisco, a pickup of 14.
Yeah, the last time the Chargers had a nose tackle, the quality of Brandon Mebane was Jamal Williams. And we all remember how great he was. And it all starts right there because he's closest to the ball, and he can allow the linebackers, Perryman and Manti Te'o, to run freely. So he can occupy a couple of blockers up the front.
And Jamal Williams actually a coaching intern on this current staff under Mike McCoy as Taylor inches a little bit closer, brought down at the 5. All the postseason experience that Mebane brings to the table.
And he brings 15.5 sacks in his 10-year career in Seattle, which doesn't sound like much, but for a nose tackle, that's a good number to have. It just shows how disruptive he can be.
Chargers 27th against the run last season. And this is Ponder running it in for the second time in the quarter.
Well, the first time it was a design run off the option. That time was a drop back pass. Saw the lane open up over the left side, and again it's a walk-in touchdown as the 49ers capitalize on the Berkovici fumble.
Some pretty good offensive numbers for Ponder. 7 of 13 in some limited opportunities, 87 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, both coming in this fourth quarter.
Another 2-point try to increase the lead to 3 points.
Chargers are up 21-9 just a couple of minutes ago as Taylor trying to punch it in, and he does. That second effort breaks the plane, and the Niners will have a field goal lead with just over 3 minutes remaining.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but a field goal ties this game up, and we go to overtime in the fourth preseason game.
There is overtime in the NFL preseason. Could be getting some free football coming up.
Oh boy, can't wait.
The forced fumble by Rush. Christian Ponder and the Niners taking advantage of the short field. And another look. What an effort by Kelvin Taylor, their 6th round rookie out of Florida, to extend to a 3-point lead.
Yeah, they rarely call forward progress being stopped on the goal line. They give the player the benefit of the doubt, and the offensive linemen try to use their bulk to push him into the end zone. But that was really super effort by Kelvin Taylor to get that 2-pointer for San Francisco.
DeAndre Reeves back deep, standing at around 5 yards into his own end zone. Niners scoring drive, 9 plays, 54 yards, just over 3 minutes. Now, San Francisco has scored 15 unanswered points. They were down 21-9 earlier in the quarter. What a turnaround since that point. Reeves a player from his own end zone. Goes to 20. Reeves finds some daylight and out to the 30. 33 yards on an impressive return. And Mike Berkovici trying to put his 2 turnovers behind him. And an interesting opportunity here with the Bolts down by 3. Reminder, those of you watching on CBS 8 in San Diego, tonight's episode of Big Brother will air immediately following the Chargers and the 49ers.
1st and 10, the 29.
And here's Berkovici, who's so far beat out Zach Mettenberger, who was released earlier this week. to survive that final roster cutdown on Saturday. This could go a big way, and he is picked yet again. Marcus Rush, who forced the fumble just a moment ago, comes up with the interception off the deflection.
Now Berkovici is trying to squeeze that one into Isaiah Burse into double coverage. And you can see the coverage all over Burse by number 33, Rashad Robinson. And then the heads-up play by Rush to keep his eye on the ball as it popped right up in the air and then right into his lap. Talk about a back-to-back sequence for Marcus Rush. First the fumble recovery and now the pick.
What a preseason this kid has had. The first-year man out of Michigan State, undrafted, entered the night leading the Niners with 4 sacks, forced fumble, and now the interception. And sometimes these players that fall through the cracks, undrafted, just kind of find that motivation to become special players, and Rush certainly a ways away from that, just trying to earn a roster spot at this point, but a magnificent preseason run that he has had.
It makes it almost impossible for the coaching staff to cut him, because other teams will have watched his play in the preseason. He's had a sack tonight. He's been in the backfield a number of times. He recovered that fumble, and now with a pick to go along with those 4 sacks coming into today's drill. And this guy's going to make the 49er team.
I'm pretty sure they can find a special teams spot for that kid. Chargers had someone very similar last year, Nick Zubnar, undrafted, of course, out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Turned out to be their best special teams player during the season. Maybe a similar future in front of Marcus Rush. Chargers elect to take a timeout with 2:43 remaining. Chargers trying to put the finishing touches on their preseason.
Yeah, the Chargers, what they needed to do to get in field goal range was to get about 35 yards, because with Lambeau's strong leg, a 50-yarder would be no problem, but the heads-up play by Rush and really a poor decision by Berkovici has put the 49ers in position to close this one out.
Chargers do have 2 timeouts left. Niners trying to run that clock down, still have the 2-minute warning as Kelvin Taylor is brought down after a minimal gain, and now San Diego will take their second timeout. Break in the action gives us a chance to take a little peek at what that regular season schedule looks like for San Diego. This is the home portion. They'll open up here on September the 18th against Jacksonville, and some pretty good teams on that list.
Can't wait to see Drew Brees come into town. First time back in San Diego. And of course, the Broncos, world champs, with a new quarterback. We've already seen what the Titans can do. And of course, Miami is on the rise with new head coach Adam Gase. So an attractive regular season home schedule for San Diego.
Again, 877 Chargers or Chargers.com to find tickets. Ponder's going to throw it on 3rd and 6, and that's a first down play and more. Kelvin Taylor, 14 yards and a first down. As now the Niners will be able to chew up some more clock. But first, Mike McCoy will take his final timeout. Dan, what have you liked from Ponder so far? A couple of touchdown runs. Yeah, hard to evaluate just what you're seeing because of the third stringers that are on the field, but Ponder's made the best of his chances.
Well, and he's playing with second and third teamers, so you can only judge a guy by his individual performance. And I think he's put himself in the conversation because of his ability to run the ball. Remember, this offense is predicated on a mobile quarterback, and Ponder has shown that tonight. So he may have just made the decision whether they keep Kaepernick or try to move him. Ponder has the experience as a 5-year pro, and being the starting quarterback, he'd be a good backup to Blaine Gabbert if they do decide to move Kaepernick.
Ponder 8 for 14, just over 100 yards passing. Taylor gets to the 10, which should take us to the 2-minute warning. As the Chargers and 49ers will finally start to look ahead and begin their preparations for opening day. We told you where the Chargers will open, 9/11 in Kansas City. And San Francisco home on Monday night, where they will host the Los Angeles Rams on September the 12th. Final 2 minutes in San Diego. Right now, San Francisco by 3. Final 2 minutes of this Chargers preseason. Spiro Ditas, Stan Fouts, Heather Myers, rest of our crew from the Q in San Diego. 2nd and 8. Ponder and company keep it on the ground, and Taylor trying to put this game on ice for San Francisco. 10 yards as the Niners score their 3rd touchdown of this 4th quarter.
Now they've been able to take advantage of turnovers. That's a huge stat. Scoring off of turnovers, and again, it's that option play. And Taylor does a super job of bobbing and weaving behind the line of scrimmage, finding the gap in the Charger defense, and then taking it to the end zone.
Well, Taylor comes from a football playing family. His dad, Fred, Peacock of Florida, winning their first national championship back in 1996. A successful 16-year career in the NFL. What a great career he had with Jacksonville. And his son trying to earn his own way. Taylor, the young man whom they took 6th in the 6th round. And, like father, like son. Young fella's got some skills, and he's put them on display here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, we've seen some dynamic running out of the 49ers. Taylor, Jawan Harris, Sean Drone, Mike Davis. We did not see Carlos Hyde. He's their money back from out of Ohio State in his 3rd year. But the other 4 guys have really put on a show tonight. And they all seem to be the same type of smaller back, good vision, good shiftiness, and good explosion.
Hyde, I should say, missed all those games last year. 9 games with that broken foot, had surgery in the offseason. He's expected to be back. And so a lot of concerns about his durability. Can he stay healthy with that running back position over a 16-game season? One of a number of questions that the San Francisco club has to answer from the regular season. This is DeAndre Reeves once again playing it from his own end zone. Out past the 20 and ahead to the 23-yard line. 26 yards on the return. With San Diego down 10 and 1:48 remaining.
And no timeouts to use for San Diego.
Dan, let's put a bow on the preseason. The big questions for this club: running game and stopping the run. On paper, they appear to have addressed those concerns. What do you see as the future for San Diego come the regular season?
I think the big bonus is that Melvin Gordon got through the preseason and the training camp injury-free and showed burst and showed us a couple of things that he could do once he gets out into the open field. The injury problems at wide receiver will continue to be a problem until they settle on who the backups are going to be. Did not see enough of Travis Benjamin. Didn't see anything of Antonio Gates, but that's okay. But offensively, as long as you got Phillip Rivers pulling the trigger, you're in good shape.
Rivers hoping to continue what has been a pretty remarkable late season renaissance. You think back to 2011, 2012, people thought that maybe he was already on the downside of his career, but he's found that fountain of youth. As Rivers gets ready for his 11th season, hard to believe, as the Chargers starting quarterback. 3rd and 4, Bercovici initially escaped And he was able to somehow gain some positive yards. He picks up a yard. And guess who? Marcus Rush and Corey Lemonnier combining on the tackle.
3 yards to go from the 30.
Dan, what about defensively? Did you see enough that lends you to think that they'll have enough for John Pagano?
Well, again, you just don't see the front liners playing as much. We'd like to have seen Mebane working in there with Leggett. The 4-game suspension for Darius Philon is going to hurt the Chargers, but hopefully that's where Joey Bosa can step up. That's a big question mark, how much he will play in that opener, if at all, and how soon he will get up to speed. Not so much the mental side for a guy that is a down lineman, defensive lineman, defensive end in Bosa's case, but it's football shape, and it's a real battle in the pits that he's going to have to face, getting used to the NFL size and speed that's going to be coming after him. So a few questions along that defensive line, but I like the number of sacks that Chargers have been able to get throughout the preseason, and hopefully that will carry over to the regular season.
There's Colin Kaepernick. Joey Bosa, the 3rd overall pick. 2.5 months away from this club. Finally rejoined them on Tuesday, signing his contract. And now really anyone's guess as to what kind of football shape this kid will be in and whether or not he'll suit up and be ready for that opening day clash in Kansas City with the Chiefs. Keep in mind the Chargers haven't seen him in full pads yet since taking him in the draft.
McCoy says he passed the eye test. He looks good in a t-shirt, doesn't he?
San Francisco 49ers 31, San Diego Chargers 21.
So San Diego comes up short for a 2nd straight week as they fall to the San Francisco 49ers 31-21. For those watching on the Chargers Network, you'll be leaving us now to return to your local stations. And for those on CBS 8 San Diego, our postgame coverage is coming up next. Again, the final 31-21 for Dan Spiro. We will see you again in a couple of minutes.